Hello, this is Techie once again, the former spokesperson for the American Cultural Tradition and or American Cultural Memory Complaint Department, and the current head and or chief and or director head chief and or chief head director and or chief director head of the Stochastic Intelligence Agency. And as you can hear, my voice is a little rough today. It's on the rough side because I was participating in the January 30th marches against ICE. Yes, I was, and while I was participating in the marches against ICE on January 30th, my dear and good friend Don Lemon was arrested for being a journalist. And as you will see, Don Lemon, mentioned me in his speech that he gave following being released. And I suppose all the trouble that he got in for being a journalist, which we all believed was part of the First Amendment, and since being the First Amendment, probably the most important amendment, or at least the amendment that was seen most necessary to be brought into the foundation of our Constitution of the United States of America, and that was certainly part of the American cultural tradition. And if anyone remembers such stuff, that would belong to the American cultural memory now, wouldn't it? And so I guess one of the reasons that Don Lemon, mentioned me in this little speech is because he was referring to my role as the spokesperson for the American cultural tradition and or cultural memory, and particularly my role in addressing those complaints that come to our department in that area, and also perhaps because he considers me a fellow journalist on the same level, I appreciate the compliment, and you'll see what Mr. Lemon is talking about, and then I'll address some of those issues that he referred to me regarding. So let's go ahead and start there. And once again, this is Mr. Don Lemon, my good friend, and as you'll see and hear, he mentions my name shortly.
I've been a journalist for 30 years, if not more. I'm a man of a certain age. I always say old people be knowing. And the only job or profession that is protected in the Constitution, I believe, and in the very First Amendment, is a job that I do. It's a job that I have, and so many journalists around the world. So this is a moment for journalists, I believe, around the world. And I am so grateful to everyone who has voiced their support, who has put out statements, who has reached out to me, who has said, whatever you need financially, whatever support that you need. It has been overwhelming. And I do think right now that people understand that, again, this is a very critical time. And I hope that this continues, and to support not just me. If I can be the catalyst for, or the inspiration for people to say, finally, stand up to the powers that be in our government, and also, quite frankly, having come from corporate media for a long time, to stand up to the gatekeepers, the corporations that say, no, I am not going to bend the knee to this administration. I am not going to put on liars and insurrection deniers and election deniers. I'm not going to give my platform to those people. I'm not going to put people on television and give them a platform, people who come on just to lie and to offend and to insult people. It's insulting to the American people. This is not folly. It's not funny. This is not a game. If you look at any tyranny or any autocracy, any sort of dictatorship, the first thing they do is they get rid of the media. They try to silence the media. Ask Turkey.
And you see, he referred to me, and so I would like to respond to that. Yes, indeed, we've done several installments concerning the loss of free speech and the rights of the media to report news, and how this particular strategy, goes back to fascism, the early fascism of the 20th century, and it was largely fictionalized and exposed in George Orwell's novel titled 1984, which of course refers to the year 1948 and with the numbers in reverse. And let's just listen to that again.
People understand that, again, this is a very critical time, and I hope that this continues, and to support not just me. If I can be the catalyst for or the inspiration for people to say, finally, stand up to the powers that be in our government, and also, quite frankly, having come from corporate media for a long time, to stand up to the gatekeepers, the corporations that say, no, I am not going to bend the knee to this administration. I am not going to put on liars and insurrection deniers and election deniers. I'm not going to give my platform to those people. I'm not going to put people on television and give them a platform, people who come on just to lie and to offend and to insult people. It's insulting to the American people. This is not folly. It's not funny. This is not a game. If you look at any tyranny or any autocracy, any sort of dictatorship, the first thing they do is they get rid of the media. They try to silence the media. Ask Turkey about that.
There it is again. And because, Mr. Lemon addressed us here at the office of Stochastic, information and in our Stochastic agency here. What we are going to do is we're going to put up. I'm going to put up at the top of the page a clip that I have from way back, and you'll recall that I went up into heaven. This was after the demise of Charlie Kirk and that whole Aryan heaven thing that was going on with Cash Patel, and Charlie Kirk and his little fine pony, riding up there into Valhalla. They invented the Valhalla heaven, and we didn't go to Valhalla heaven. We went to regular heaven, and we interviewed Griot. Now you'll recall that Griot was one of the first victims of Ice Barbie. Now we're having a lot of victims of Ice Barbie and that Bovino guy, and then I guess they got a new guy out there in Minneapolis. But we have more and more victims. But we're going back, to one of the original victims of Ice Barbie, and that's Griot. And you recall that in English, sometimes refer to that gentleman as Cricket. And we did an interview, and this is precisely what Mr. Lemon is talking about. Nobody ever got to hear Griot's story. And we didn't put him on there, as one of these liars or one of these supporters, right, of dictatorship, one of these corporations giving money to make silly little movies about, wannabe models that just happen to be the first lady or what, and ridiculous, while at the same time that this murderous, insane moron, her husband, is going around killing American citizens in these great cities of ours, including Minneapolis and Chicago and Los Angeles and Washington D.C. and Seattle and Portland and all across the nation. And so, no, we're not going to have these. We're not going to have these scumbags like what's his name? Stephen, Jewish cracker, don't know he black Miller. We're not going to have folks like this on our show. We're going to have folks like Griot. I'm going to put Griot at the top of the page, and just remind everybody that this Ice Barbie, she's been murdering American citizens for some time now, even before she was the Ice Barbie. And Griot's we're just going to show his testimony, and I want to once again thank Mr. Don Lemon for the work that he does and recognizing the work that we do here at the Stochastic Intelligence Agency, and once again, I very much appreciate the fact that such a great journalist and such a great man and such a great person recognizes our role in resisting the rise of fascism in America. All right, that's all. And let's just sign out with that. And then, like I said, I'm gonna put Griot up at the top, and want everybody to continue, hang tough, don't buckle, but stay safe, and of course, as I always say, have a nice day. This is Turkey once again signing out. Have a nice day.